What started as a joke but people take it way too seriously today. Dogecoin, flat earth, truck nuts. They were a joke at first. Now they are a point of pride on emotional support trucks. Schrödinger's cat was formulated as a thought experiment to illustrate how odd quantum mechanics is, not that the cat is actually both alive and dead. QAnon. The whole sigma, beta, alpha shit. Being an edgelord whose entire personality trait is trolling and bullying other people. The OK symbol being a white supremacist sign. Those masculinity types, like alpha, omega and sigma male, etc. Some people take this too seriously. Celebrities becoming politicians. No Nut November. School teachers telling us we won't have calculators in our pockets. Some nerds took that as a challenge. Scientology. Scientology. Come on. He's a sci-fi writer and now a bunch of people believe they have midichlorians or some shit in their blood making them do bad things. Wow. How Pollen accused Snowflake ironically and now it's the conservative go-to. The schools having litter boxes in bathrooms thing. Birds aren't real. Taco Bell giving anyone diarrhea. That vibrating anal beats chest thing. Message is bad and vaccines cause autism. MBTI. I mean, it didn't really start as a joke I guess, it is a psychological model based on a psychologist. And don't take it wrong, I think it's fun and interesting to see which personality type I am myself and it isn't a bad model even though it doesn't fit the modern versions. But I think some people take it way too seriously which bothers me, because I don't want people to put me in a category and think that is my whole personality. Flat Earth the most recent trend, its origins are hilarious. LMFAO like chemtrails now the same people also started the all birds are not real thing, and it's catching on just like their last joke. People are so gullible and stupid, smiley face. Donald Trump running for president. Tell me you without telling me you. People use this as a real response. You could probably just use less words if you said exactly what they are doing. I feel like an old lady for hating that phrase. Pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Literally started as a joke now it's the American way. Brain only using 10 of its ability. Maybe not anymore but Morbius. QAnon. TikTok. Comedy. QAnon. Hating on Nickelback. I'm very much convinced QAnon started off as a joke. Dogecoin. Litter boxes in school bathrooms. Trump as president. Flat Earth theory. NFTs. The whole Pepe is a symbol of the alt-right and the OK hand gesture being a sign of white power. One of those was started by 4chan to specifically show how gullible the mainstream media is. Pineapple on pizza. I like it. If you don't, why shame me? I don't shame you for eating booty. The Area 51 challenge. Fish sticks. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Get on the floor and try it. It's impossible. That's the meaning. It was originally used as a sarcastic joke. But today it means the opposite because fanatical capitalists co-opted the phrase and changed the meaning to the opposite. Surely NNN. Do people actually do it, or do they just lie and say they passed? 'Cause I know I've failed already. Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard created it to win a bar bet. The Proud Boys. The white supremacist OK symbol. Pepe the Frog. The Proud Boys were originally a joke fan club for a shock comedian named Gavin McInnes. It was loosely patterned of a fight club and in that sense always had a degree of violence baked in. Also the comedian in question was a chauvinist and semi-nationalist so it wasn't a huge stretch to become what they did. The name comes from the Broadway stage version of Aladdin that came out in 2011, more specifically the song Proud of Your Boy. The comedian heard either an intern singing the song on a radio show he was guest appearing on or a classmate of his son singing the song at a talent show. I personally think the earlier is more likely and he changed the story to protect the intern's identity. As Gavin had long been decrying the loss of traditional masculinity, this was a humorous sort of breaking point for him. So he created the Proud Boys to teach feminized men to be real men again almost exactly patterned after Fight Club. The organization was clearly a complete joke, and the initiation policy reflected this. For example, in order to become a full-fledged member you had to name 5 breakfast cereals while other members would beat you with pool noodles. They started getting more militaristic as a result of protests barring Gavin McInnes from appearing at colleges and other venues. Many attendees were getting attacked and harassed, so they started guarding his events. From then on they started getting out of control and were basically begging for excuses to get violent. It's almost like what happened with the Stanford prison experiment. Then things took an even sharper turn at the 2016 Charlotte riots. They saw themselves again as the arbiters of peace. Through violence. They ended up protecting a lot of white supremacists, which got them labeled as white supremacists. At the time there was actually no connection except some occasionally overlapping beliefs. But this caused a lot of white supremacists to join and a lot of people who didn't stand for that to leave. From then forth they actually became the white supremacist terrorist group that the media had called them before. If they had never been taken seriously, they would have just remained a joke fan club. OK Symbol was a similar phenomenon. 4chan was laughing at how little research the media needs when spinning a story about racism or bigotry. They will buy almost anything. To prove this point, they made a meme about how the OK symbols really stood for white power. The media took the bait, but then soon after so did real white supremacists. Pepe is also similar, but yeah, you get the point here. It's like with a child, if you tell them they are bad long enough, eventually they become bad. The idea of Alabama and inbreeding, videos that are clearly staged and in no way attempting to be passed as real. American spiritualism. Flat Earth. Birds aren't real. Hating on Nickelback apparently. Idiocracy. Pull yourself by your bootstraps. It was meant to mock someone for trying something impossible. Now it's an unrealistic standard used to justify continued unnecessary suffering. Anything remotely related to alt-right politics. Edgy teenagers started saying really offensive shit on 4chan and older people were like, they have a point, though. And here we are. The Bechdel test. Not that the issue it raises shouldn't be taken seriously, but people totally misunderstand that it was only supposed to highlight how absurd it is that so many movies fail to reach the very low bar it sets. I've seen filmmakers brag at Comic Cons and the like now about how their movies pass the Bechdel test and it's seen as a female character representation stamp of approval when it really just means it reached a satirically low bare minimum threshold originally created by a cartoonist. The Kardashians. NyQuil chicken. There was a guy who made a video on TikTok jokingly saying that he had a great recipe for cooking chicken in NyQuil. A few people made response videos, but everyone who saw it knew it was a joke. Then mainstream media picked it up and blew it out of proportion. They made it sound like it was an actual trend for people to be cooking NyQuil. There are already plenty of problems on TikTok, we don't need to invent new ones to complain about.
I hope you all are doing well, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video. If you have something to say critically or otherwise, leave a comment. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to see more of it. I hope you all have wonderful and fulfilled lives.